our sons can love us and they can cherish us and they can care for us, what they must do is respect us. They must. And what that means is moms, I think sometimes what I've heard from the boys, and I can see it in my own experience, that the legacy that many women have, that they don't want to say or stand their ground when they are angry or frustrated, because they are afraid that if they do, they will lose the relationship. And these relationships are our life. They are our heart. We cherish these boys. And these boys move away from us, and they are good at pushing our buttons, and we feel that the relationship is fracturing. And so when there is a moment of anger and frustration, we sometimes do not advocate our position seriously because we are afraid we will lose the relationship that we have with this boy. I am 100% clear after these 2 years, after 20 years of teaching and 2 years of talking to the boys. If you want your son to disengage from you, don't hold your own. If you are able to hold your own, if you're able to laugh and say, yeah, you're still doing that. I am still your mother. I am still going to demand respect. If you treat him with dignity, but absolutely demand that you are treated with dignity as well, your son will come forward. Boys are really good, just like girls, at pushing every single button that we have when we are mad at them. So they know exactly what to say that stops us, distracts us, confuses us. If you have a negotiator, like the kid that you're like, oh, he's going to be a great lawyer one day, but now he's exhausting you. If you have that kid, that's especially for you. Before you get into the argument or before you are about to have this conversation and you feel that it's the 57th time that you've had this conversation, this is what I do. I pick the 3 things that I feel I have to say in my little space of time, which is about 3 minutes long. So I give myself 3 minutes, I give myself 3 points. No matter what my child says to me to distract me, irritate me, and confuse me, I'm going to say these 3 points. And I am not going to repeat myself. If I repeat myself, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to say, I am not going to repeat myself. And if you want to do it as like a little tag for you, because when I repeat myself, you don't listen to a word I say. So no repeating yourself, say it in 3 minutes, and have 3 points. The other thing I would tell you as well, and this again is about how you get your kid to talk to you, because this is about being an authority figure in an ethical way that can be taken seriously by your child without being dominating and controlling. Have you noticed that when you're you need them to get something done, but it's like right before you have to leave to go somewhere? I don't know if you've ever had this experience. You have to go somewhere, and they have not done it with all these things that they need to do, and you are just fit to be tied. So they're arguing with you, and you've got somewhere to go. So I have found it extremely effective, like so effective that I actually turned around and was like, yes, I said to, my kid was being just relentless, and I said to him, all right, I want to have this argument with you, but I need to schedule it for later today. So, because right now I have things to do, but I definitely want to have this argument with you. So at 8 o'clock tonight, that's when I think I'll be ready for this argument. Do you think you will be ready for this argument at 8 o'clock? Good. 8 o'clock, we will reconvene, we will have this argument. I look forward to it. Now we're getting into the car. That was like awesome. It's like you win a prize when something actually works. Like you're like, yes, this is awesome. He has stopped talking for like 2 seconds. Okay. Now I know this might seem far afield to get you to a place where your kid is having a problem and they talk to you. So but those are some of the building blocks that I talk about in these books about how to get you to a place where your son, when he goes through a problem, will talk to you. And these are actually very similar dynamics in some ways to girls. So when your son comes to you with a problem, both boys and girls are going to probably say, these kids are bothering me. So at the swim party, well, the kids sort of bothered me. So what I would ask you to say in response is, I'm not really sure what that looks like. So can you do me a favor and describe it to me so I understand it better? Or can you just be a little bit more specific so I understand it better? then what I would ask you to do, and again, these are suggestions, you know, take them and put them with what you've got, is you say something like, I'm really sorry this happened to you. Thank you for telling me, and together we are going to work on this. If your child says to you, I'm going to tell you this, but you have to promise not to do anything, what I would strongly suggest that you say, and again, this is absolutely appropriate for boys and girls, is I would love to make this promise, but I can't because I don't want to make a promise I might not keep, right? Like that is really important to me, is to keep my promises. But what I can do is I can promise you that if you tell me something that I've got to get somebody else involved, you will be part of the process. You will be part. You will never be blindsided. You will never be shocked that this person is a part of the process. What I have found time and time and time again is that young people absolutely will allow us to be the adults that they want us to be if we recognize that this is their life. If we recognize that they have a right to have a say in these things because, and I would say this to your kid, because of course I don't want to surprise you. Of course I want you involved because you have to deal with the consequences of what we go through, not me. So of course you should be involved and will be involved every step